Hang on. Just need to... Okay, someone hadn't muted their microphone yet. Seems to have done it now. Okay, good afternoon. This is Jack from theartofchart.net, and this is an intraday video for Tuesday, the 11th of June. A disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, and we're not here to issue trading signals. Right, okay, some significant stuff today on the markets. We went and made a higher high this morning. That set up a, well, actually the 60-minute sell signal had already fixed yesterday, but it was another higher high, set up a potential double top, and that double top has broken down. Now we're back testing at the moment, but this rising wedge we're seeing here, I'm expecting it's a decent pattern, it's broken down, and we've now got a reversal pattern. I'm expecting to see a retracement. Question is how far that retracement gets. So I'll switch over to the RTH charts and let's have a look. All right, SPX. Here, nice looking rising wedge, broken down, nice looking double tops, broken down. We are back testing the 50 period moving average here, which is the 15-minute moving average. And I'm expecting to be heading back down soon, or here, and towards possible support in the 2870, well, this is the 2875 area that Stan was talking about on ES, but possible head and shoulder neckline there. We could see a right shoulder bounce back to mid-80s and then down, or we could just go with the current double top, which takes us down into a target in the low to mid 2860s. What are we likely to do on this retracement? Well, I think really we should be looking for either the 38.2 or the 50%. As usual, we would be looking for on a break of a pattern like this, with the 61.8 as an outlier target. And that is 2840, which is what Stan was talking about this morning, or 2820, which is the monthly pivot. And I think we should do one of those two. Then we will have established a less vertiginous rising support trend line, and then we are likely to continue and go higher. What are our chances of making a retest of the all-time high? Pretty good at this stage. We've gone through, I mean, I have to say I'd have preferred if it had made a decent IHS to take us higher. As it is, we haven't really had a pattern taking us higher here. But nonetheless, I think the chances that we're going to do a retest of the high are pretty solid. I think we actually even went slightly over the decent resistance in the 7 to 10 area this morning, and we just were poked through that on ES. I think we're going to come back and we're going to do a more convincing break, and then we are going to go higher. Right, where are we looking at for support here? Well, the 50-hour moving average is now in the 2830 area. That's between those two target areas. On ES, we've made all the buy signal targets. We have a lot of sell signals. On the 5 DMA, by the way, that's now at 2863. I'm expecting to go through that, but that actually is a pretty good match currently with the current double top target. On the daily chart, the daily middle band is now in the 2830 area, pretty much exactly where the 50-hour moving average is, although that changes level faster. It's now turning back up. The middle band, so and is likely to obviously it'll start accelerating to the upside as we go higher. But first, we should see a back test, and the obvious level is a back test of the daily middle band. And if that holds, then we're probably looking at the 38.2% retrace in the 2840 area, which is the minimum really I would like to see here. In terms of the sell signals here on the 60-minute, got an RSI 5. And RSI 14 sell signals fixed. The RSI 5 has already made target, the RSI 14 has not. Could we go back and retest this high to make the second high of a double top? Potentially, yes. But if we were going to do that, I'd be thinking we'd probably do it from a bit lower than we've managed today. But maybe. At the moment, we'd set up a target which would get us down to the about the 2850 area. Maybe that would be close enough. We've got sell signals on other indices as well. We've got a RUT one here, although that's made target now, I think. No, we've got an RSI 14 one there, but not as strong as the others. We've got an RSI 14 and an RSI 5 fixed on the Nasdaq, neither of which has made target. We have broken rising support. I'm liking the downside here a lot. We are running out of the initial sell signals. This 60-minute sell signal here has reached the possible near miss target on ES. NQ, We haven't quite made that level. We've broken rising support. I'm expecting to see this go lower, but we do have some possible support here, but I'm expecting to see it broken. RTY, we've got a nice looking rising wedge here that has broken down. We've got a double top with a target, which is broken down with a target in about the 1503 area. I'm expecting to see that target made, but we've already made target pretty much on that 60-minute sell signal. On DAX, decent looking rising wedge, still hasn't broken down, and obviously it needs to break down for the wedge to start triggering lower targets, and it hasn't done that yet. It's just possible that it might not, and might go back and retest wedge resistance. ESTX, we actually did another leg up on this, which was interesting to see, and I wasn't expecting. We had the 60-minute sell signal had fixed and reconfirmed. It just failed, which was interesting. Or at least I think it's failed. It's the level between there and there, but if it hasn't failed, it's very, very close. On the other hand, this is a very nice rising wedge. These two tend to break down, but obviously this one hasn't broken down yet. All right, so that's where we are on indices. Let's have a look at CL. Now, CL, we've got a possible IHS forming here. Now, if so, we would have the ideal right shoulder low in the 52.5 area. We're at the weekly pivot area now. We shall see. So if this isn't an IHS forming, then we're probably going to see a retest of the low. We haven't yet hit declining resistance. We don't have to hit it, particularly if we're just going off to retest the low, or making an IHS right shoulder. But for what it's worth, that is currently in the 54.5 area and may need to be hit. NG. NG's been going pretty strong. It's over the weekly pivot. Is it a possible IHS neckline now? No current divergence, but resistance area here, and I've got another strong one up and about the 2.44 area, which I'll be watching if we head over the current level. GC, what's happening here? Well, we broke down for a nice looking double top, and at the moment we are rallying within that, but I have to say it's a distinct possibility, although this isn't a good fit with DX at all. But I mean, if DX were to unexpectedly break up, it's possible we could be forming a head and shoulders here, which could have a target down in the monthly pivot area. At the moment, that looks kind of a long shot, but it's something that would be bearing in mind, especially because the target would be in a very good place for a deep retracement. I'm just not really seeing DX going up at the moment, but possibly. SI, come back, tested the monthly pivot, holding like a champ so far. We're on a weak 60-minute buy signal, which has not quite made it to the possible near miss target. HG has broken up from a double bottom with a target in the 2.75 area. I do have, actually, sorry, I haven't marked it in here, but this possible 60-minute sell signal I had this morning has now fixed. We could do a deeper retracement. If we got down that far, I'd be wondering about a break of wedge resistance here in about the weekly pivot area. Okay, ZB. ZB, I think a larger flag has been forming here, and I think this is probably going to break up, but not much sign of that there. If we start moving down seriously on equities towards the 2840 area, 2820 or 2840 area are the obvious target areas. But if we're heading down towards that, then we may finally see this retest of 155.01, at which point I'd be expecting it to reverse back down. So it'd be a very good time to do it if we are going to see this retracement mature and deliver, as I think it's probably going to. DX. We tested trendline resistance, channel resistance, and so far it's holding like a champ. At the moment, it looks therefore as though we are reversing back towards channel support, which is currently in the 96 area. If that breaks up and we get over the weekly pivot, then that could be a different story, and we could be looking at a large rally. Until we see that, though, the obvious direction is down. I've got a target, double top target in the 95.4 area, and I'm not seeing any particular obvious reason to think it's not going to get that. Okay, USD looks as though it wants to go higher, and probably does. USD JPY, it looks like a flag forming. Possible, well, I've got a target up here, a double bottom target in the 109 area. I've got trendline resistance in the 109.3 area. Could be a target. USD CAD. USD CAD, no current divergence. I think this is just a consolidation before, in all likelihood, it heads lower. Australian dollar, I've got a nice looking rising wedge here that's broken down. We may just be forming a flag. We're testing decent support, obviously, at the monthly pivot. KC, this looks like a flag forming at the moment. We're below the monthly pivot. This could go lower. This isn't a great head and shoulder pattern, so I'm a bit doubtful about it, but there is potential for this to get down to, let's say, the 90 area if this turns out to be a head and shoulder pattern. At the moment, what I'm leaning towards, though, is this is some kind of flag or wedge type consolidation before the next move up. SB possible double top forming here. We are on a 60-minute sell signal, but we've not really been seeing any significant sign of downside. I'm thinking we're probably consolidating for a move up. CC has broken up and it's reached my ideal target area in the 2560 area. We may find resistance here. No current negative divergence. ZW. The head and shoulders sort of lost interest and is breaking up. I think in the end, this was actually a bullish triangle. This should at minimum retest this high at 525 and stands really looking for a target in the 560 to 580 area, I think. I do have a lot of sell signals here. I've got a 60-minute sell signal. I've got daily RSI 5 and RSI 14 sell signals fixed, which is a little unnerving. But we may well find they just play out after we've made those targets. But at the moment, this is bull flag breaking up. The pattern setup is saying higher. Corn, still in a likely flag, still likely to break up in due course to a minimum retest of this high here, and stands expecting it to go higher. We are on a 60-minute buy signal. Soy, technically this is a double top that's broken down. I'm not convinced this isn't some kind of flag forming, might develop into a wedge. Either way, at the moment monthly pivot is holding, or at least not being converted to resistance, and that may well continue to be the case. As long as that continues to hold as support, the next move is likely obviously to be higher. Alright, we're going to stop the main recording there.